إذا مسكتيني بنصورك. تمسكينيش. كلكم تشوفوا هذا الذل. هذا الذل. يلا.
So my name is Haya Yasmeen Nasser. I'm Palestinian American. I'm a journalist. I produce and present my travel segment on NBC TV, where I tell the stories of different cultures and people around the world. That day, I had just finished my live episode for my show, the morning show, and I was visiting Hebron, Al Khalil, to talk about tourism, the glass making and pottery making, and just visiting the city. So I finished my live episode on TV and I went to the old city to walk around and film some more for social media. So as I was walking in that area, Israeli soldiers were sitting on the side, and we were walking on the sidewalk. We were walking through a street and they started yelling and stopped us to not go through that street. So they first questioned the guy who was with us, taking us around, and so they took his ID, and all of a sudden I see them starting to ask him to pull up his pants and search him and stand at a distance. So I decided I don't want to go there. I decided I would like to step back and leave. So the minute I said, okay, never mind, I told him I don't want to go, they started yelling, saying, give us your ID. So I had my American passport on me, and I was with my mother and him. So we all gave our IDs. And as they were checking it, one guy approached me, one of the soldiers, and started claiming that I'm filming them. So as you can see in the video that was posted by many platforms, I raised my phone. I claimed that I'm not filming. And as I'm saying that to that soldier, I see another female soldier start charging towards me in an attacking way. So automatically I pulled my camera up and I started recording, and that's the footage I got on my camera. And I said, if you touch me, I will film you. And obviously she attacked me, and another started attacking me. They started dragging me, holding me by my arms. Actually, one was holding me by my arm and then the other was holding me by my neck. And I kept yelling, you can't touch me. You can't touch me. And you come with us. They pushed my mom. My mom kept saying, where are you taking her? Why would you want to take her? She said she's not filming you. So yeah, they kept pushing us till they got us into an area where they had a military area where there were soldiers and there were rooms. So in that moment, I literally raised the American passport up high, thinking, okay, this is my last resort. This is my only hope that I can be safe. This is my only safety net in this moment. And she literally pushed her whole body onto mine. I could feel her whole body and the rifle on my body. And her face was inches away from my face, and yelled at the top of her lungs, I don't give a f***. Today, a part of me just wishes my phone was recording or anyone was recording these sentences, because as a Palestinian American, I'm constantly asked, but you're American. How come you get harassed? How come you continuously get oppressed when you go home? How come you grew up in so much injustice? I'm like, it doesn't matter. This is exactly the answer to all my colleagues, all my friends, all the people I lived around who are American and don't understand the situation. They don't care. The minute you're Palestinian, everything else gets canceled. So in that moment, my American passport was worthless. And I got pushed into that room with my mother. Inside that room, I was put behind a barrier, and my mother behind another barrier. And they stood behind it. It was two female soldiers. One had her gun pointed at my mother. The other was facing me with her gun. And she started yelling for me to strip. So in that moment, I said, why would I take off my clothes? Like, what did I do to take off my clothes right now? I said, no, I won't take off my clothes. So she started going even crazier. Take off all your clothes now and put them on the floor. All your clothes and put them on the floor. So in that moment, my mom interfered and said, what do you mean take off all your clothes? You can see everything. Like, I'm not wearing anything baggy. You can see my body shape. I have nothing on me. And she started yelling at my mom. She started saying, you shut up, you stay quiet. And in that moment, I just looked around in that room and I saw the gun on my mom's stomach, literally touching it. And my eye was literally trying, like every time I say it, I still get like this gush and but like my eyes were trying to see if her finger was on the trigger or if she was just holding the gun. That's like literally in that moment. And I realized things were getting out of control. So I'm like, okay, Haya, take a deep breath and just give in. Just follow orders right now, because you don't know how the situation can end. And the situation can end in many different ways. I looked around. This is a closed room. We're with two militarized women at gunpoint, being asked to strip. And at that point, I'm like, okay, my body can, I can take off my clothes now. I'd rather do that than be killed. And no one will ever hear my story, or no one will ever know what happened in this room. So I did start taking off my clothes. I pulled up my shirt. I didn't take off my bra. As I said, I didn't take off my bra. She said, you have two options. Either you take off your bra or I touch you. I said, go ahead and touch me. So she did. She touched me. And then I had to take off my pants. I took off my pants, and then she said, take off your shoes. I rolled down my pants all the way down, and then I put it back on, and she said, take off your shoes and your socks. I took off my shoes, and as I'm hanging on to one foot, taking off my socks, my foot was shaking. So she started yelling again, why are you shaking? And I'm like, why am I shaking? I'm shaking because I feel unsafe right now. And she said, you feel unsafe? I'm unsafe. I was like, okay. I had to even take it down even more of a notch and say, okay, no, I'm just, feeling unsafe. I took off my socks, showed everything calmly, moved slowly and calmly. And yeah, when the strip search was complete, we were let go. The one thing that I continuously keep saying I wanted to put my story out there is this is not the first time I've been strip searched. I really want us to call it for what it is. And this is pure sexual abuse. This is, in this context, whether in any definition we want to use, in gender-based violence, and in this case, violence against women, this is sexual abuse. You are in this context of two militarized women at gunpoint asking you to take off your clothes. My body is sacred, and my body is, in that moment, it's like, it's my body. This is my sacred body, and I have the right to do whatever I want with it. But under apartheid and in front of these militarized women, I had no control over my body. This is exactly what it is. We don't have control over anything as Palestinians under occupation. Zero. We don't have control over our bodies. We don't have control over our movement. We don't have control over our simple daily life matters and movements. And this has been the case all through my life, growing up, having to cross checkpoints daily, having a gun pointed to my face daily, having, being continuously under, I say we are continuously being watched and continuously being controlled and continuously being harassed and humiliated. So this is an example of life under occupation and life for many Palestinians daily, going off on their daily lives and going to work or going to school or going to walk in the old city for tourism and promoting tourism in their country.